What is the best training program for building muscle naturally? Well, in this video, I'll answer that question, but I'll also give you a different way of thinking about workout programs entirely. If you learn the concepts in this video, you'll not only build muscle more effectively, you'll also do so at a faster rate. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Now, you've likely seen the terms full body workouts, body part training, push-pull, and other workout splits thrown around quite a bit when it comes to building muscle. To get familiar with these, let's take a quick look at some of the examples of the most common ones out there. First up is full body workouts. As the name implies, these workouts involve working muscle groups across the whole body using predominantly larger compound exercises. Next we have push-pull workouts. This is where workouts are split between exercises where you push the load and where you pull the load. Upper-lower splits are next on the list, and this is where you break up the workouts into upper body and lower body specific exercises, with core usually allocated to either one or between. And finally we have body part split routines. This is where workouts are broken down even further into specific areas of the body such as legs, shoulders, back, arms, etc. Don't get too caught up in the details of each format I've just shared, as I'll dive into these different programs and which one is best for you a little later on in this video. For now, we need to get an idea of how these different program formats can be allocated and spread across the week. To do so, let's take a look at the following infographic. Looking at the beginner workouts in green, you'll see that these mainly comprise of full body workouts that hit each muscle group at least twice per week. In row 1, there are two different full body workouts that are alternated between. In row 2, you'll see that there is a full body workout used in conjunction with a push and pull workout each week. And in row 3, there is a similar format to row 2, except that two of the workouts have been broken down into upper and lower body instead of push and pull workouts. Looking further down the intermediate workouts in red, you'll see that all the workouts comprise of either push-pull and upper-lower body formats. And finally we get to the advanced programs in blue. Here you'll see that the body part splits are the go-to workout format. Now you're probably wondering why workouts involving lots of muscle groups such as full body workout programs are mainly assigned to beginners, why workout programs that are body part specific are allocated to advanced, and why workouts assigned to intermediates lie somewhere in between. You're probably also curious to know why other variables such as workout frequency, sets and reps, and intensities are different for different levels. To understand why this is so, and to pick the right type of workout program for your level, we first need to consider the training and recovery cycle. You see, the best training program is the one that you can recover from and make the best progress with. How often you train a muscle group depends on how quickly it recovers. How quickly a muscle group recovers depends on how much loading was applied to it. When you've just recovered from your previous training session and supercompensation has occurred, it is the perfect time to train the same muscle group again before the training effect is lost. See my No Pain No Gain Part 2 video for more on the recovery and progressive overload principles. It is important to recognise that the recovery window is different for each person and that it largely depends on an individual's unique recovery ability and their level of advancement. If you're a beginner, by definition you cannot lift heavily enough or intensely enough to stress your muscles as much more advanced trainees who require a body part split. A beginner's recovery cycle is shorter and they can train each area of their body more frequently. This is why if you're a beginner, you should be doing predominantly full body workouts, which consist mostly of compound lifts instead of isolation exercises. If you're more advanced and you're naturally applying more loading and intensity to your workouts, your body will require more time to recover. Therefore, more advanced programs are usually broken down into split routines where each of the body parts are worked at a higher threshold and given more time to recover. Now, if you're wondering how advanced you are and which type of program you should implement, then consider the intensity guidelines at the bottom of my infographic. Now, these structures are not set in stone, and there are other ways you can determine your level of advancement and the best program format to run with. Mine are simply based on my coaching experience of training complete beginners through to advanced athletes over the past decade. The main thing is that you're respecting the training and recovery cycle while also considering the key variables that make a training program. What are the key training variables you need to consider? Well, there are three main ones that you need to understand and consider before implementing a particular training program. These include frequency, which is how often you train, volume, which is the total number of reps you do, and intensity, which is the degree of loading or effort applied. These variables are all inversely related. What does that mean? Well, you can't do the same high volume workout with consistently high amounts of intensity, nor can you do high volume workouts frequently and recover from them. To make this easier, let me give you an analogy from the running world. You can't run all out 100 meter race 10 times in a session and expect to have the same fastest time by the 10th try. Nor can you win a marathon race every day of the week if you tried. Your recovery ability simply doesn't allow it. You need to respect rest days and recovery, as this is when you'll actually grow. If you're a beginner, you might get away with 6 full body workouts per week or you may only get away with 3. It depends on how much intensity and volume you're using, and also your recovery ability. Just realise though that in regards to volume and frequency, there will be a limit on how much we can amplify these over time, and your recovery ability will eventually max out, and in order to become more advanced, you'll need to apply more loading and manipulate intensity over time. Differing recovery abilities and levels of advancement are important factors to consider when implementing a training program. However, we also need to consider that we all have different schedules and varying availabilities of time. If your weekly availability is different to that of the workout routines I've previously provided, then consider the following guidelines I've used to create these routines in order to structure your own. If you're a beginner, focus on full body workouts where the same muscle mass is stimulated 2 to 3 times per week. If you're an intermediate, focus on push-pull or lower upper split programs that stimulate the same muscle mass 2 times per week at higher intensities. And if you're more advanced, focus on more body part split training where the same muscle mass is stimulated 2 to 3 times per fortnight at increasingly higher intensities. If you're time poor or don't train as often, just be aware that you need to settle for slower progress. This is because the more time you can dedicate to your training, the more proficiently you'll build muscle and the quicker you'll advance yourself. This might seem obvious, but it's surprising how many people get this wrong or simply get impatient when they have a lower level of dedication. Even if you're more advanced, but you become time poor, you might have to scale things back and stick to full body workouts to maintain results. By now you can appreciate that there are many types of training splits that can be used at various stages of progress and under different circumstances. At Performance Revolution, we use different program formats depending on the person we are working with. Everyone has their own unique goals, recovery ability, weak points, levels of development, and lifestyle scenarios surrounding their training. Not all types of training programs will work for all people all the time, and you need to acknowledge this. I created this video to help you figure out which type of program will get you the best results for your individual situation, rather than just trying to promote one type of program over another. Remember too that no training split will work forever due to your body's ability to adapt. Learn to read the signs early and recognize drops in your strength, your work capacity, and overall results. These will be your main cues to change things up. Also make sure you regularly track your results or have a coach that does this for you. This way you can quickly determine if you're on the right track with the right kind of training program. If your diet is supportive and you're developing muscle and strength at a good rate, then it's likely that you're on the right program. If you're struggling, stagnating, or even backtracking, you'll need to make some changes. If you need further help on what's been covered in this video, or you'd like a structured and proven program for your level, then reach out to me and my team via the details in the description to this video. That's all for now. Remember to like this video if you found it helpful, and remember to tune in for more of our content in the future.